key to making 2025 your best year is not about doing more, but instead is about healing. Because healing your wounded feminine and masculine energies unlocks a life of ease and alignment with the one that actually feels like it was meant for you. I know what you're thinking because I know you and I used to be you. You're thinking that the key to all of your happiness is to do more this next year, is to make resolutions around burning yourself out and hustling, but it is not. And I promise you, all of your dreams will not only come true faster and easier, but will feel so much better when you first heal your wounded energies and then pursue your goals from a place of aligned and healed feminine energy. Let me explain before you write this off. So I'm going to jump right in onto exactly why healing your wounded feminine and masculine energies should be your top priority for 2025. Like I already alluded to, if you start by making all these goals and pushing yourself to achieve them from a place of brute force and strict discipline, and you're a woman, not only will that feel bad and you'll burn out so fast and you'll be full of shame and doubt and just really feeling disappointed in yourself, you'll also fail because women are not designed to do anything with that kind of strict discipline. So not only will it feel terrible, but you won't even get to where you want to be. And in fact, you'll be worse off because you will have pushed yourself even further into your wounded masculine energy. And I'm not here to discount your biggest goals and your biggest dreams. I'm here to just give you a different way to pursue them with less resistance, more ease, and alignment with things that actually feel good to you. Because once you do, when you start pursuing your biggest dreams and goals from a healed place, you'll get there easier and in a way that feels way, way better than if you were to just forge on with brute force. Say one of your biggest dreams and goals is to create a business for yourself. I love that. I'm all for women creating freedom for themselves through business. But if you do it from a place of wounded masculine energy because you have not first healed your wounded feminine energy, then that's going to look like you listening to what every dude bro marketer on the internet is telling you what to do, checking all the boxes, and just pushing, even though you're exhausted, you're questioning yourself, you're not sure if you're doing the right things, and you're just doing, going, and you're depleted, and you're also not even sure if you're even going in the right direction. Whereas if you first heal your wounded energies and start pursuing that goal from a place of healed feminine energy, then you're going to be able to hear your intuition. You're going to be able to take action on that intuition. You are going to prioritize rest. You are going to build a sustainable business. And I can talk about this from experience. This past year, I have created a business for myself, and it not only is going really well, but it feels amazing. And that's because after many failed attempts over the last 10 years of starting something and giving up because it didn't feel right, or starting something and burning myself out to the point where I resented it, over and over, I can probably think of like 5 business ventures that I started and stopped because they either burnt me out to the point where I had no interest in them anymore, or I was just following along doing something that wasn't actually aligned with me. And nothing ever stuck. Nothing ever made me money up until I healed these wounded energies and I got very clear with conversations that I had with myself. I had such a clear vision because for the first time I was able to hear my intuition and actually listen to what I really wanted and what I wanted to create in a sustainable way. I've done the burnt out discipline before, and I have never actually achieved my goals that way. However, this Amanda aligned business that I've been able to create over the last year, it's been successful and it has felt amazing. It feels true to me, and I've done it all within the container of prioritizing my feminine energy. It hasn't burnt me out. It's felt amazing. And I want that for you too. And I'm not here to make this video all about me and all about my experience, but I know that so many of you on the other side of this camera have health-related goals. I know that because I know women. After years and years, ever since I was a teenager, yo-yo dieting, doing crash diets, gaining all the weight back, crash diets, gaining even more weight back, being unhealthy, being in deprivation binge cycles over and over and over and over and over again for years, like ever since I was a teenager. Can you reach health goals from a masculine place? Sure, that looks like cutting your calories super low, working out really hard even when you don't feel like it, even when you're on your period, even when you're PMSing so bad that you feel sad and all you want is chocolate, but you pull your ass to the gym and slog through it and it feels horrible. I've been there. You've probably done some version of that yourself. And I have to ask, how did that work out for you? Probably not well. Even if you were to push through the discipline and do it, it probably isn't sustainable. It probably didn't feel good. And it definitely threw you further into your masculine energy. That was me for a long time. However, once I healed my feminine energy, I actually got to this place where I was able to actually get in tune with my body, realize what it needed, and it wasn't something where I was fighting with willpower anymore. It was just me listening to my body and giving it what it needed. It needed nutrients, it needed hydration, it needed movement that I loved, and it needed to be cyclical. It needed for me to be intuitive and to listen to where I was at in my cycle, where I was at with my emotional state. And what that did for me is it didn't allow me to then binge and throw in the towel and give myself permission to give up on myself and my goals, but rather it allowed me to give myself the little bit of what I needed at whatever given time from a place of self-love and self-nourishment. And I just made a video, I can put it here, about how I lost 20 pounds without trying, and that sounds like dumb and clickbaity, but it's so true because once I healed my feminine energy and once I shifted my identity, I wasn't trying. It just became who I was, and I just naturally made the decisions that were aligned with the healthiest version of me, and it felt amazing because I did it from a place of being healed. So I've been talking a lot about wounded feminine energy, wounded masculine energy, but let me backtrack for a second and explain what that actually means if you're not familiar. So wounded feminine energy looks like people pleasing, not having any boundaries, never prioritizing yourself. You put everyone else ahead of you. You feel disconnected from your emotions or your life or who you are at your core as a person. You feel like you don't even know yourself anymore. Or you struggle to receive. That's love, compliments, gifts, kindness, anything. You have a really hard time receiving anything from anybody. But the biggest and most impactful sign is that you just don't really feel joy for life and you feel like you're living a version of one that wasn't even meant for you. Signs of wounded masculine energy, on the other hand, is that you're overworked, you're constantly stressed, you struggle with perfectionism, you have an inability to relax, and you distrust yourself, and you can't hear your intuition, let alone actually listen to and take action on it. And so when these wounded energies are left unhealed and unaddressed, they lead to burnout, overwhelm, a lack of joy and satisfaction in your life. They lead to unfulfilling relationships, whether that be with your husband you've been married to for 15 years or all the new guys that you constantly are dating because no one ever sticks because it just doesn't work out, or your friendships or your familial relationships. And most importantly, the relationship that you have with yourself, because these wounded energies can typically lead to quite a poor self-worth. And again, most importantly, I'm going to repeat myself because it's so important, but these energies left unhealed lead to you feeling like you're living a life that wasn't even meant for you. Like you're living someone else's version of your life. You find yourself thinking, is this all there is? What am I doing? So it's so easy to go into a new year and think, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And if I do those things, I'll be happy. But you can pursue these goals. You can make amazing things happen. You can force just about anything in life. But what does that feel like? What is accomplishment or status or reaching goals that you never thought you could? What's the point if you feel like you're doing all these things within the container of a life that doesn't even feel right to you, doesn't even feel good to you? And that's why healing these wounded energies is the foundation of just about anything that you want to change in your life. Because when you balance these energies, it helps you reclaim ease and alignment in your life. You become more fulfilled and get more joy out of life because you're finally living one that feels like it was meant for you. You start to strengthen boundaries and develop a stronger sense of self and confidence, because when you're in alignment and you know that you're doing things that feel so authentic to you in ways that are authentic to you, you can't help but feel just so confident in yourself. And you begin to attract healthier and more fulfilling relationships or strengthen long-term bonds like your marriage. So, how do we heal? Well, the first step is to develop self-awareness through reflection. Journal about where you feel out of alignment in your life. First, journal about where you feel out of alignment with your feminine and masculine energies. Write about in what ways in your life you want to embrace your feminine energy and heal that. And in what ways you want to stop or greatly reduce the ways that you're showing up in your masculine energy. Next is to embrace your feminine energy every single day. And exactly what that means is far beyond the scope of this video, but in general, it looks like slowing down, listen to your desires, prioritize yourself, and savoring the small joys in life. And doing that, it all sounds like pretty simple stuff, and it is. It's simple, but it's not necessarily easy to do, and there is a formula and a sort of step-by-step process that you can follow, which I created. You can check it out down below. It's my 10-day feminine energy reset challenge, where I help you transform from being in your rigid masculine energy to embracing your soft, aligned feminine energy. So if you're ready to reclaim your feminine energy and your life, you can check out the 10-day feminine energy reset challenge down below. And the third step is to strengthen your masculine container. What I mean by that is the goal in healing our wounded feminine energy is not to completely eliminate masculine energy, right? We need masculine energy to take care of our children if we're mothers. We still have to go to work. We still have to use some masculine energy to help our big goals and dreams come true, right? That's just reality. The goal is to not operate so much so in our masculine energy, but we still need a little bit of it. So the third step is to strengthen that masculine container. This looks like balancing your feminine energy healing with structure. This means creating boundaries, consistent routines, self-care anchors, and above all, prioritizing rest and your passions. Because like I said, healing isn't just about only embracing your feminine, it's about balancing the two energies. And the next thing I want to talk about, because I'm all about the practical and the tactical, is about visualizing and creating a plan for this. Especially when we're talking about the new year and creating goals and making 2025 the best year of your life. And if this is all new to you, then I'm willing to bet that you're coming from a place where you love that structure. You love detailed goals. You love pursuing and pushing yourself. So here are some tips to kind of help you still kind of scratch that itch as you learn to embrace your feminine energy flow rather than your masculine energy brute doing force that you might be so accustomed to so far. So the first thing that I want you to do is to picture your ideal self, but not just have a picture in your head. I'm talking about you probably, if you've been on the internet for a little while, you probably know exactly what I'm going to say because it's been kind of like a buzzword, kind of like a fad of late, and that is to create a vision board. But they are not to be underestimated because they make it so clear to you exactly where you're going. And where you're going very well might be a life of ease, and you may very well need those visual reminders of like, actually where I'm going is a place where I can take a 2-hour-long bubble bath twice a week and not feel guilty about it whatsoever because this will become a priority for me. And that might feel like a really big stretch for you if you're super far into your masculine energy right now. So when you hear vision board, you might think goal, goal, goal. You're putting all your aspirations, all your big goals on this board. But I want you to approach it from more of a healing place. And healing looks small and soft and insignificant on paper. There's absolutely nothing insignificant about anything that makes you feel peace and alignment. And I don't want you to just create a vision board. I need you to make best friends with your journal. And I know you've probably heard that advice so many times. And if you're not a journaler, I want you to take up this practice, even if it's just for a short term. start it for a short term, and I'm sure you'll want to stick with it after that. But at least take an afternoon or an hour or two and just journal about where you want to go. And I want you to focus on less tactical details, less specific details, but more so how you want to feel. You can talk about the things that you want to accomplish. You can talk about who that woman needs to be, who she needs to become in order to accomplish those things. But I want you to do it from a place of healing that wounded feminine energy, because how you feel and being in alignment with your life is so, so important, and it cannot be discounted. And the thing about healing these energies is that it's all very small, and it's all very incremental things and incremental changes that feel like almost you're not doing anything. And if it feels like you're not doing anything, congratulations, you're doing it exactly right, because the feminine energy is all about being. The masculine energy is all about doing. So as you heal your feminine energy, you should be doing less. If you're not doing less, then you're probably not actually healing your feminine energy. And so that's why I created the 10-day feminine energy reset challenge, because I know that that can kind of be a little bit difficult to conceptualize, right? So the challenge, it includes a lot of homework assignments. And so there are things to do, but they're all within the container of healing your feminine energy. It walks you through exactly what you need to do to start to heal your wounded feminine energy. And you can find out more about it in that link down below. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. And I know that this might not be the video that you were looking for. And I know that I probably lost a lot of people like 20 minutes ago, because some people are just looking for, tell me what to do to have the most badass year of my life. But I'm here to help you have the most healing and aligned year of your life. I want you to end 2025 feeling more like yourself than you ever have before. And that does not mean that you sacrifice achieving big, wonderful dreams that you've always had for yourself. Your dreams might shift, they might change, but regardless, no goal pursued from a place of unhealed masculine energy will ever feel good to a woman. And that's just fact. And I have so many videos on this channel that explain feminine versus masculine energy and why that is the case. So if you want to learn more, you can check that out here, because I want you to have the most healed, aligned 2025 possible. I hope that you'll subscribe so I can see you next time. Stay aligned.